When you decided to undertake this and you said, we want to make all these, let's call it customizations or tailor Salesforce to what you wanted it to do and really get a handle on your data, why did you choose that over, let's say, going with a vendor platform that does a lot of this kind of stuff for you?
Well, I was in a room with a bunch of other like-minded individuals, and I kind of had this epiphany. Everybody was asking about the new apps, the new apps, the new apps. And from my experience with technology in the workplace, you're using 5 to 10% of what that technology actually can provide. Portfolio accounting is a great example. We use Black Diamond. The investment side of things is great, but I mean, I probably have 80% or more of the toggles that we don't even use. We don't even have turned on, right? So I think it's about like getting good with the data and the information that you have. And what we found is, when a lot of your work is already contained in a spreadsheet, right? And the fact that it's there or whatever you're looking for, it already exists somewhere. And why do I need to go out and purchase and implement another app to link to another app to another app, right? When all of this data turns out, how you can interconnect things.
That I'm super excited about the Power BI because it gives me a window to be able to see the activity. I can drill to a specific security. I can do a portfolio as a whole. And like Hannah said, there was a moment when we were having some technology issues and I was having to run multiple different APX reports to verify some data. And I was like, man, I really miss that Power BI access.
How about you, Matt? Any thoughts on this? Any misconceptions about things learned over there?
I would say my biggest misconception would be that when I started, I thought everybody had more knowledge of what they were doing than they did. They didn't have a lot of knowledge about the beginning, middle, and end when a workflow moves from one department to the next. And so that was the biggest struggle, that handoff in between, and the clarity that goes along with that, or lack of clarity at the beginning.
Sounds like something that you hear people say something like, oh, that's the way we've always done it, and not really understanding why it was done that way. Is that a fair assumption?
Yes, that was really.
If I may chime in on that, I think also you assume that because we all work in the same place, we've had all the same trainings because we've all been here. But not everybody trained all the same people, and they didn't have the same knowledge that was spread from person to person. And so, yes, if a piece of data was missed, we're having to make certain we're being thorough to cover that, because that's something Hannah said earlier. Is APX is very dynamic and has lots of abilities, and we're trying to utilize them so that we're doing more than maybe 5% usage of the system, as Matthew mentioned.
So yeah, and I think the takeaway there is yes, those systems are capable, but we're not really talking about buying a piece of new software that's made your life easier necessarily, as much as we are saying, there's a process to get the data right, and there's also processes and roles inside the office to make sure that that's working, right? And it's less about buying software, and it's more about the discipline of creating that data architecture, if you will, and sort of what you have to do to maintain it.